Oh, Knicks Nation, let me be the first one to eat crow. I changed my prediction prematurely. I said it would be over in 5 games. Clearly, it's not. Knicks lay an egg in the garden. Not our home garden, but a garden nonetheless. Coach Tibbs still hasn't delivered us to the promised land. Maybe did we rush too early to give him an apology? Big Cat, disappearing acts. Jaylen Brown on fire from downtown. And Derek White, the unlikely hero. We're going to talk about this and more on this Game 5 preview call-up show. Welcome to the Game 5 post-game call-up show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. And you know the vibes. Listen, man, I'm having the day from hell. The day from hell. If you guys don't notice something different, my goatee is gone. It's been retired. I said before this show started, I was going to give myself a lineup. I took off. I don't know. I'm going to blame the Knicks. It's the Knicks' fault. I took off half of my goatee. So once I took off half the goatee by accident, I said, damn, it all got to go, man. So I'm having a day from hell, guys. I look 10 years younger. I'm talking mad smack. I mean, I'm on TikTok. I'm on IG. I'm on YouTube. You know, Celtic fans, I haven't really seen too many Celtic fans coming from my neck now. I already see them posting comments. But I'm having a day from hell. I even almost had a fender bender today. Dude just backs into my car for no reason. Like, we just sitting there. It's crazy stuff. Like, I should have known that we weren't going to win today. All the signs pointed, from the basketball gods that today we were not going to get the win. All of this before the game starts. I'm watching once again. Oh, by the way, salute to everybody's in the building. Crime's dad told me to start the show. Salute to AP. Salute to JJP NYC. I'm sorry, man. Mad late. You got to go to bed. Man, blame the Knicks, man. Messing up my beard. I was gonna start the show early, but until this happened, I'm like, damn, I gotta shave everything off. And the Knicks will be chance 25-26. I'm not gonna go into if the Knicks lose the series. No. It's not that bad. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. It's not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad, right? It's not we may lose. The series is on the line. No. My number one issue, and by the way, if you guys want to call up, you can. But my issue, the number's on the screen, 646-995-8389. But the Knicks don't have killer instinct. That's my only issue. They don't have the killer instinct, right? It's like when the shark sees the blood in the water, right? Or when the shark senses the blood in the water. You attack. You got these guys on the ropes, man. You give these guys too much confidence. Now these guys are feeling themselves. I still think that we're going to win the series. I'm done with making predictions. J-Tap, salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. But J-Tap, he said I changed my prediction 4 times. I didn't change my prediction 4 times. I said I have the video there. I said Knicks in 7. I changed it to 5 because we went up 2-0. I said it's over in 5. I knew the Celtics were going to come out with fight and fire, but I just didn't think down the stretch they would be able to sustain the production. I knew they were going to start strong. So I thought they were going to fade in the second half. Boy, was I wrong. But Luke Cornett, Joe Mazzulla with his adjustments tonight on the money. You know, going with Luke Cornett in the second half because KP didn't have it. We got our first caller. Hey, caller, state your name. Where you calling from?
Hang on, I'm gonna call back.
Okay. Oh, that's definitely Yuri. Hold on. It's not him. It was me. Hello, caller. State your name. Where you calling from?
This is Yuri.
What's going on, Yuri? Oh, man, I know you're going to give me an earful, man. What's up? You
I'm
told me so what?
Tonight. I already gave an earful.
But did you tell me so or what? You told me so, right? What did you say?
I told you so. I said, yo, don't matter. I said, me and Knicks 25, 26 try to warn you. Yo, Tatum's, but without Tatum, they're a better team. I've tried to tell you that. I've tried to tell you. I tried to put aside the regular season record, right? Tried to put it aside because it's regular season. But this time, they're a better team. And Tibbs got our coach tonight. Let's just be real on that. Tibbs got our coach tonight. You know what I mean?
I mean, he lost the game, so you ain't going to get no argument from me. You know, but you know what? I blame everyone for the loss. Like I'm not the type of person to point one person out.
Yeah,
I do weigh it. Well. I do weigh it. Like Brunson's the captain, so he gets a little bit more of the blame. But realistically, I put this on the players tonight because I feel like Big Cat, for example.
The players definitely let each other down tonight. Definitely.
Why you stop being aggressive? Because you had 4 fouls? I don't understand that. Like,
it wasn't even that. It was the foul. It wasn't even that. There was a lot that went into it.
It just wasn't our night tonight, right?
It just wasn't our night tonight.
And you know what? And I've come to embrace that, right? After shaving off my goatee, right? And I had, Yuri, if I tell you, this was one of the worst days I had in a long time, right? Not even counting in the game. Not even counted. Like, so much crazy stuff. Like, everything was telling me, Karan, we're not winning today. we're not winning today. Like, you're just not getting the W.
Now you got Josh Hart, who's a warrior for playing through that injury, by the way. That was bad.
Yes.
Salute to Josh Hart, man. You got my respect.
Definitely salute to Josh Hart.
You did everything you could to win that game, and I feel so bad for you.
Yep, he and Mitchell Robinson. Salute to both of those guys.
Y'all should have won this game tonight. JB let us down. OG let us down. You know what I mean?
OG. Mikal had a decent first half, and then he disappeared. Everybody let us down.
I'm not going to blame the refs. This is just the players.
Yeah, I think this is a player's loss, right? Yes, there's things Tibbs could have did, but I'm just looking at the game. I'm like,
this is a player's loss. This was a player's loss. I can blame the refs, but that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out right there.
Yeah, I don't want to blame the refs. Because, look, in the beginning of the fourth quarter, the same member around that 9-minute mark, Boston was in the penalty. Exactly. Why didn't we take more advantage of that, get to the line the way they did in the third quarter?
And I'm pretty sure they're going to have a team meeting about it tonight, whatever the hell it was. I did listen to the post-game. Everyone looked pissed off they let that game go. So here's the thing with this team, though. I'm not worried about. I am sure we're going to bounce back and secure the dub on Friday. Because they have
we're going to win. I'm not giving no predictions, Jerry. I'm not allowed to give predictions anymore. I'm done. For the rest of this round, I'm not doing no Knicks and nothing. I'm just going to let them win.
You learned your lesson. Good. I'm happy.
I'm going to let them win. And I'm going to stick to my pick. So, yeah, in the beginning, Yuri, I remember I did the video. I said Knicks in 7. That was my initial pick.
I changed it.
I changed it because I got hyped. I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
I thought they were done.
Yeah. Listen, Tatum, here's the thing with Tatum, right? In all respect to Tatum, heal up, brother. We need you back on that court. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Salute
but here's the thing with Tatum. That feels like we just unlocked a whole new layer of Boston that we have to figure out now, if you're the Knicks. Now you went from worrying about Tatum shooting ISO balls to now you got to worry about a whole new layer of Boston. So it's like butterfly effect.
They've had 127. I can't even talk reckless like how I want to because we just laid an egg, man. I mean,
laid an egg. Played the
Man,
goof
look,
man.
49 threes. They went 22 of 49 from downtown, right? They put up 127 points. You're not going
Thank
to
God this
win.
wasn't at home. Thank God this wasn't at home. Thank God.
Well, thank God, because that would have been game 6. That would be oof. I don't even want to think about that, Yuri. But you know, this is what I want to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
The positive, optimistic, objective fan. I want to say that Derek White, there's no way he repeats his performance in another game. I can't see Derek White getting another 30 ball. I just can't see it. Right? And Jaylen Brown, 26 points. We can live with that. I'm cool with Jaylen Brown's 26
it's Derek
points.
White that worries me. It's
Derek White getting the 34. That's what killed you, right? Drew Holiday, 14. That's not nothing to worry about. That's a pick your poison, right? Al Horford, 12 points. Now here's the thing with Al Horford. Remember in my 10 keys, Yuri, I said when the Boston Celtics, when Al Horford gets 9 points or more, I think what was their record? It was like 25 and something. I could pull it up, but they got a really good record when Al Horford gets more than 9 points. So like 10 points for Al Horford is like 20 points for any other player. So definitely when he's getting in double digits, that can be a problem, right? Now, Luke Kornet to me is the guy that really was the MVP.
Yeah. Luke Kornet changed that whole game.
Looking like Mutombo, flying in from everywhere.
And give credit to Luke Kornet because he is a former Knick. You know, we always shout out our former Knicks.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
We can't let a bad loss be salty about it.
That's true. That's true. And you know something interesting too, Yuri? Once again, the streak will continue. I think no matter what, we will get a Knick in the finals. A former Knick. Remember that streak? Like every year, there's a former Knick in the finals.
I think it's going to continue this year.
No, by default, no matter what happens, because you got of course the Timberwolves, right? But the Pacers also got former Knicks, and like you said, Boston got Luke Kornet.
Listen, if there's one thing you gotta give Tibbs credit for, it's the player development of his roster. We all see players going to different teams and having more success on the other teams. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Right.
You know what
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I personally think that shows a way of Tibbs' culture in how like other people respond to his coaching. You even heard Obi thank Tibbs as well from time to time, even despite they had a falling out. Right. You know what I mean? Because remember, Obi and Tibbs didn't see eye to eye. But here's the thing, though. Obi did say recently, or a few months back, or last year, he did have to thank Tibbs because Tibbs gave him the foundation. Now he's excelling in Indiana. As much as I hate to admit it.
Got the $60 million contract. Yeah, I mean, that's what the Knicks do. I mean, and all these guys that came in during the Leon Rose regime, they all got taken care of. They all got opportunities even after they left the Knicks. From Grimes to even Cam Reddish. They sent them to Portland when Portland had nothing. It was on him that he couldn't, make the most of it.
I'm not trying to bring up the fire Tibbs talk because I know it's inappropriate, especially at a time like this.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
I ain't trying, but I've been everyone on Reddit talk about it. So I feel like it's kind of worth bringing it up. It's kind of worth bringing it up. If Tibbs somehow screws this series up or the players screw this series up, somebody's getting fired. Somebody's getting fired.
I don't think, honestly, I don't think that there's no coming back if you lose this series. So that's why I don't even want to think about a loss right now. But did I jump the gun with this question? I put up a poll today with the Knicks on the verge of making their first ECF in 25 years. Is it time? I jumped the gun. I should have saved this for Friday or Saturday or something.
At least.
Oh my God! I'm not even going to click it.
The Knicks were going to win tonight. To be fair, everyone thought the Knicks were going to win tonight, myself included. Right?
I didn't want to believe otherwise, right? Because
something told me, wait a minute, Tatum's out. I wonder if this unlocks a new layer of Boston. And sure enough, my hunch was right. You want to know why?
Damn, Yuri.
because Tatum was the main ball handler. He was the first option. Most people don't want him.
Facts.
He's the first option. Straight up. He's the first option.
Right.
He's either first or second. I don't remember.
No, he's definitely the first option. He leads the team in scoring, rebounding, and assists.
So instead of giving Jaylen Brown the first option, it's Derek Wright's the first option, Jaylen Brown's the second option, and Al Horford's the third option.
But did you see Jaylen Brown had 12 assists?
That was crazy.
I think they're helping too much on Jaylen Brown. Like, yes, he's nice, but it's like the blueprint was it what we did in Game 4 when Tatum had 40, they still was losing. Like,
thing,
let him cook.
Like, here's the thing. I felt like you know what it was? I think Tibbs overdunked this game. That's what I really do think. I think Tibbs overdunked. That's exactly what happened.
But you double teaming Jaylen Brown. Let him 12 assists. That is like that right there, because you know at least 8 of those assists is threes. You know that.
So here's the thing, though. Now it's Game 6. You're going on very thin ice here, man. Very thin ice. You're going on thin ice. You gave a team confidence. That's all it took right there. And you know I'm right. You know I'm right on that.
Well, I'm gonna say I'm not giving a prediction, right? I'm not giving a prediction. I still think the Knicks are going to win this series. I think Boston. I think they're going to run out of gas in Game 6 because this game was fueled by Tatum getting hurt, right? It gave them something to motivate them, right? It gave them something to really go hard. And you at home, you know, the Boston Celtics fans are the worst.
You couldn't lose.
You can't exactly. And I stand by my TikTok clip that I put out, by the way, which I'm pretty sure right now I got a whole bunch of Celtic fans. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they cooking me right now on TikTok. But I stand by my words because I still think the Celtic fans are the worst. They're attacking Knicks fans. I hope nothing happened tonight, but I'm pretty sure the Knicks fans just got up out of there. There's no reason to hang around tonight, but
the
Celtics.
By the way, I saw the footage.
That. I mean, come on, dude. Like, this is sports, right? Yeah, we get emotional, but come on, dude. We're not gonna fight, right? We could yell at each other and argue, but we're not gonna. Come on, we're not gonna get into no fist fight over no sports. But my thing is, in looking at Game 6, what I expect to see, I don't expect to see Derek White playing so good. I think that this tonight, what we've seen was just extra motivation behind the Tatum injury, right?
If I had to say it, because I actually talked to a few Celtics fans, right? The team was motivated by Tatum getting injured. That's basically.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's their best player. That's their real MVP, if you ask me. And so it's like, it's very easy to galvanize the troops and bring everyone together. Sometimes that's what you need, especially in the playoff series. You need that one thing to get everybody going. So now the Knicks have this loss, and I think that's what's going to work for the Knicks. Like, we took a bad L, we couldn't close out this series, sort of like what happened in Detroit, where the Knicks were able to overcome.
What I'm hoping is, I hope this ends in a win for the Knicks. That's what I hope for.
Because I think so. I think so.
It looks like OG hamstring is bothering him. Right?
You think so? I mean, I don't know. He hit the floor a couple of times, but
I know, but you want to finish this game. You want to finish the series as soon as possible, though.
I agree. Yeah, you wanna get through this series. I'm still confident. That we could beat Indiana. Like, this doesn't put a demerit on the Indiana hopes for me, right? I know a lot of people are like, oh God, Indiana did it in 5, and now the worst thing that could have happened, literally, Yuri. I saw that all over Reddit. I had an unfiltered thought I was going to do tonight, right? And once again, I'm planning for the win too much. I had an unfiltered thought I'm getting ready to do. Now that gets ruined, or at least for now, for the moment. And I just put too much stock in winning Game 5, and I got to eat crow for that, man. Because
You're not the only one.
You,
I'm pretty sure a lot of us thought Knicks were going to win Game 5 tonight. I'm pretty sure a
man,
lot.
I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of us did, and I just feel bad that I just didn't see the signs, man. I ignored the signs. You know, the Knicks are not a good closeout team. I think they said we were coming into the game. We were 3-4 in closeout games in the last 2 years. I don't even care about the last 2 years. I want to just look at this year because this is a different team than last year's team. So this year alone, we're 1-2 in closeout games.
Right. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign, man. And then we're a great road team. We killed our streak. I was banking on that streak to continue, the road streak, but it's all good. I mean, we still got one of the best road records.
Anniversary. Crazy. Yesterday was the anniversary of the Charlie Ward PJ Brown incident. Wow.
I don't even want to think about that. By the way, salute to the chat, guys. Feel free to call up if you want to. 646-995-8389.
AJP real quick. Listen, you can't worry about what other teams are doing. All right? Wolves closed out. They had to do what they had to do. Good. I'm happy for the Wolves.
Yeah. What's going to happen to the Wolves in the next round? Like, in that next round, it's going to be real. No matter who they see, boy, it's going to be some. Oh my God, you got 2 MVP candidates.
That's going to be real. Whoever the Wolves meet next round, hands off.
So listen, you know, and if you really want to be realistic, like if the Knicks get to the next round, I don't want to say if. Whenever the Knicks get to the next round, right, we have a better odd of getting to the finals than the Wolves will. Can we at least agree on that?
Yes. We will.
Can we at least agree on that? You know.
But I will say though about the refereeing, right? Even though I know the refs, like I told you, that third quarter was, oh boy, really?
Ticky tack fouls, Yuri.
Tony brothers, strike again. Tony brothers.
How does Jalen Brunson get 5 fouls in the quarter? Let's really think about that.
The good news
5 fouls?
The good news is that the refereeing crew is going to get changed every game.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm expecting a new crew on Saturday, but you can't rely on the refs, though.
No, we're not. The game is Friday, by the way, not Saturday. So
the game is Friday.
Friday, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to have a team meeting. You know what I mean? You know what Jalen Brunson did tonight, right? He waved back to the Celtic crowd.
And you know what? And I think that's good because I think Brunson needs that extra motivation too. So like sometimes as athletes, like even me, of course I'm not an NBA player, but when I play ball and people on the sidelines talking, it gets me going. Like I'm the worst person to trash talk to because one, I'm really good at trash talking, but two, I don't like when things are too nice and friendly, right? It just makes me like kind of passive. But when we get extra aggressive and you want to talk smack to me, I'm gonna go extra. It's just gonna be a more of a fight for me. So I'm thinking that's what's going to happen in these next games, whatever game it's going to be. Once again, I'm not allowed to give prediction, but I expect to see a team with a little bit more fight. And also, I expect Towns to really come out and be more dominant because you still got these little. How they started? Who they started? They started Cornette and not Cornette. They started KP and Horford, right? Yuri, you there?
Yeah. Once you made over to them, I was like, oh boy, you pissed.
Who did they start though? They started KP and Horford, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they started KP and Horford. Why is Holiday and Brown guarding Towns?
I don't know.
That was a sign right there. Like, yo, Towns, they really can't guard you. They got 2 big guys and they got guards guarding you. That means their 2 big guys is weak.
Towns was bad this game, though. Towns himself was bad this game.
But I think that he's going to be better. I think OG will be better. OG or Bridges. We need one of them. It don't even have to be both of them. We need one of them to get 22, 23.
I know. I don't even want to go into the Knicks lose the series talk because next 25-26 is right. But I will admit, though, I got worried after this loss. I got worried after this loss.
You got, but this is what you expected though. You said Knicks in 7.
I did say Knicks in 7, but I was hoping that we would somewhat get a win tonight.
Okay. I should be the one that's worried because I had Knicks in 5, but I'm not worried about the series. My thing is, and I might do an unfiltered thought on this instead. The killer instinct that's needed, it doesn't appear to be present.
That's what worries.
And maybe it's going to take us a year to really get that, you know. But that right there is a problem for me because
you got to have a killer. You want to be a contender.
If you're going to, because Indiana, right? Indiana is a team that you can't play with 3-1 with Indiana. You can't do it because they're a team that have the ability on offense to create enough offense to keep them in every single game until you close them out, right? But of course, Boston has that too. But without Tatum, I don't believe it's going to sustain. Like I said, I don't believe Derrick White's going to have another 30 ball in him. I just don't see it. And I hope that I'm right.
I will say though, I will entertain it though. I will entertain the Knicks lose the series. So if Knicks do somehow, some way, miraculously screw up this series, which I cannot see happening because I still got Knicks in 7.
Right, that was your pick.
That was my pick, and I'm still sticking with it because I don't want to be arrogant and say Knicks in 5 unlike some people I know who is on the court right now.
I give myself some more crow, man. Hey, man, I'm giving myself crow, man. You're right.
But I will say, though, you're going to see a lot of changes coming to this team. Not blow-up changes. I don't think we blow it up. Right?
Right. I mean, listen, you win the championship or you go to the finals and you have a hard-fought series, I don't think no one's going to be thinking about Boston. You just got to win the series. The Knicks have to win the series, you know, and I think that's what it comes down to. But another thing, too, Tibbs said this, right? Mm-hmm. And this is why I'm not really putting the loss so much on Tibbs. I feel like this is more on the players. But he said, like, yo, you know, we don't start quarters well. You know, like, are they following the...
You're diving into Trevor right now.
No. I'm actually taking Tibbs' side. Are they following what Coach Tibbs' game plan is? Are they deviating from the plan? Because he's highlighting certain things in his press conference, and I'm like, okay, so he sees some of the issues that we see, but the team isn't adapting. Is it that the guys are just not pulling it off? Is it, you know, what's going on with that? So, no, I'm not taking the Trevor. I'm actually taking Tibbs' side because it's not like Tibbs is oblivious to some of the things. But he also... Yeah, go ahead.
My friend, too, and my friend was like, yo, I blame Tibbs for this loss. Why didn't we have Mitch out? I was like, we didn't have Mitch out because Cat had 5 fouls. 4 or 5 fouls. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. The fouls... okay, so naturally, even Brunson, like when you do have fouls, it's going to limit your aggression because you don't want to draw a charge, especially Towns. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, there's got to be something that you can do. Okay, so all right, we got the best shooting big man in NBA history, so let's get him popping.
What I don't understand,
you know, okay.
What I don't understand is that why are we not having Cat shoot more threes? Like that's been my question.
Get him popping. That's what I'm saying. Let him pop off the pick and roll.
That's just. I feel like ever since that game 5, right? Ever since that game 4, we took 2 steps back, and we took 2 steps forward, and we ended up taking 2 more steps back.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's what pisses me off the most. What's game 6? Tomorrow, we take 2 steps forward, or we're taking 2 steps back again.
And then to get blown out, right? Because now that's going to be the narrative. And Brian Windhurst, who makes me sick. Brian Windhurst, I think I need to avoid listening to him until this series is over.
You should.
Because he's like, oh, you know, this series is not over. Boston could still win. Like, he really believes that Boston's going to win, and I just can't wait to see the look on his face when they lose. I just can't wait to see it. But, it's still not hasn't happened yet, man.
I know. Well, here's the thing that what Tibbs said on this. He actually called out the Knicks' defense. He actually did call
That's another thing. Yeah.
So there's hope for me in saying that, okay, with Tibbs calling out the Knicks' defense, I'm assuming that they're going to come out with the right defense this time. You know what I mean?
And you know what else too? Like with the different refs, like you said, it's hard to get a feel for how to play because one set of refs will let you, hit each other. The next set of refs is calling ticky-tack fouls. So how do you develop a rhythm and know what you're going to deal with?
I brought that
it's
up in
very
the chat.
difficult.
Yeah. Put that in the chat. You got to make a game plan for. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I have to agree with him on. Tibbs has to make adjustments on how the refereeing's called. That's the one thing. He's got to make adjustments, Colin. Got to make adjustments.
Well, yes. I mean, yeah, I feel like Joe Mazzulla made the better adjustments tonight, but I think Tibbs can make those adjustments. And I'm with the outspoken introvert. Salute to you. He said, shut it down on Friday. We can't play around with this. I agree.
You can't. Because if this goes to a game 7, Colin, I'm going to be honest. I'm not watching the game. I'm going to be on my fight. I'm going to fighting game.
Okay, so look. All right, so look, guys. To everybody in the chat, hit that like button, by the way, and you feel free to call up if you want, or keep posting in the chat. We'll read your chats. But there are some silver linings here, right?
Which is?
We okay, so remember, what's the record, or when did we last close out a game in MSG? When's the last time we did that? They said it's been years, right?
Yeah.
So we get the opportunity to close out. So now, Broadway's going to be crazy, right? We get I'm mad I can't even go because Friday's the call-up show, and we're going to be here at 10:45, so I can't even go there. But
oh, yeah, that's going to motivate the players. That's going to motivate the players to close out.
You see what I'm saying? And so now we get the opportunity to win it at home, something they didn't do in 20-some years, right? And so and then another silver lining is, yes, we have to win Friday, but we don't have to win Friday. We don't have to. So you got 2 more chances to get it done. I want them to get it done Friday.
Just so they can get rest.
Right. But listen, man, ain't no resting in the playoffs, man. You want to rest? I got a night. You could take the entire rest of the season off. There's no resting. I at this point, I would love to rest, but the way it's set up right now, there will be no rest for us. We gotta continue to fight. Pray we get home court throughout. That's why I'm rooting for Denver, but I don't know. Denver is looking like they're not gonna. We'll see what happens with Denver. But
the one thing the silver lining is that Mikal Bridges said we gotta come out and play with urgency. And
yes.
I feel like this team will come out and play with urgency as well.
Yeah.
What annoys me about this loss is this team came out with urgency and it just disappeared in the second half. And that is on a player's fault.
Right. That is on the player's fault because we've been dominant in the second half all series. And then tonight you just forget how to play in the second half. I hate that stuff. And they allowed the Celtics to manipulate the referees into their favor, and that's how they were able to get the Knicks. In foul trouble. And I wanted to keep. Hey, I said it. One of the keys. I said it in the breakdown. I don't know where my notes is. It's all over the place right now. But I said that the Celtics have been drawing more fouls in the postseason. They've been making a concerted effort to get to the line, and you've seen it tonight. How many free throws they had?
Now, here's the thing. If it's Tibbs, right, I don't know if it's going to happen because I know he's stubborn as a mule. Does he start the double big lineup?
It's something to consider. They shot 26 free throws tonight.
Do you start the double big lineup if you're Tibbs?
Wow, we shot 40 free throws. That's crazy. I'm gonna say that you could try to start, but the only problem was because you're gonna bench Hart, and Hart's been your best player. So how you bench Josh Hart? Josh Hart is your best player. I don't understand that logic.
That's what
You see, Josh Hart had 24, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, only 1 turnover.
Like that, we couldn't win it.
5 of 9 from 3 ball. 5 of 6 from the line. I don't know how you bench a guy like that.
that's the one thing I don't understand. How can you, right? How can you, as a team, not come together and say, "Yo, we should have won this game"?
The killer instinct. I mean, to be fair, too, guys, this is they are the defending champions. They know how to win.
Their back is against the wall right now.
Their back is against the wall. They know how to win. So we gotta be. I know. Listen, I wanted to win. I was the most mad. Look, my beard is gone, bro. I don't know how I did that. I'm mad at that. I don't know how I did that. But anyway, I know we wanted to win.
I don't know how that wasn't a flagrant, by the way. I don't know how that was a flagrant.
Oh yes, Josh. Yes, I see you, size 9. Yeah, Josh Hart got beat up.
You got a lot to look forward to now.
There's a lot to look forward to, man.
Now you got a lot to look forward to because you're the Knicks. You got a silver lining on it. Knicks, first time you haven't closed out a series you can win this
at home.
At home. And I'm pretty sure all the players are saying to themselves, "Yo, we gotta come out to play. We can win this series at home for the first time and God knows how long." So there is a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna get the job done.
I'm not gonna say. I'm still saying Knicks in 7.
That's fine. No, don't change your pick. Hey guys, listen to the people in the chat. If you said Knicks in 5 or Knicks in 4, God bless your heart. If you said Knicks in 4, don't listen. Do not do no more predictions, man. Just enjoy the game, okay? Well, no more prediction. Once we get to Indiana, then we could get back to making predictions. But right now, yeah, we just can't do no more predictions.
I will say though, I'm gonna entertain a talk again. If this does go sideways, Tibbs is out of here. That's. I think I'm.
I don't know if he'll be out of here, but I tell you what. It might, and I know Fritz is probably going crazy right now too.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they'll be on the hot seat.
He's going to be on the hot seat. He's going to be on the hot seat.
I mean, I don't know if I was going to say I don't know if he'll be out of here, but he might be on the hot seat. I could see that. Because you're up 3-1. Now, why can't you close it out? Especially with Tatum not being there too. That's another fact. But that's another thing I ignored, though, Yuri. Remember, they came back from a 3-0 deficit 2 years ago. And I just completely just said, screw that. We're going to win in 5. And teams like that, they're going to be tough outs.
So that's why I feel like everyone's overreacting. We knew the Celtics' back is against the wall. That's why I said Knicks in 7. That's why I said Knicks in 7. I would have changed my prediction tonight if Tatum went down, like if any of our players went down.
Oh my God, that's not even put that out there.
And here's the thing:
every time OG hits the floor, I get scared.
Nick Yak said this too. Boston went on heater, shooting threes, and we still tied at halftime. And third 10 fouls called against us. 5 against us, letting game get away. 2 would be called in Detroit.
Yeah. Nick Jack, good point.
Listen, Boston just went on a heater at a good time.
Yeah, I thought they was gonna cool off, and they didn't.
Listen, the thing with Boston is that you just gotta keep defending that 3-point line. Got to.
No, that's a key. That's a major key. Definitely a major key because it fuels them. Like they're still gonna put up 48 threes. I don't know how, but I also felt like in the second half, they did a good job attacking the glass too.
Nick Yak, I bring it up for very specific reasons. I don't hate Tibbs. I've been defending Tibbs on here for a long time now. But usually the guy who gets the heat the most is the coach. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I think it's fair to say that Tibbs' job is actually on the line here.
I mean, a lot of people are saying that.
Believe it though. That's the thing.
Listen, I mean, we lost, so I can't really defend Tibbs like how I would normally would. I really don't have no rebuttals for it. I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, it's hard to defend Tibbs tonight. Not that I still feel like this is more of a player's loss, even though there are things he could have did. Like when Brunson got 4 fouls, take him out the game. Like
Well, why would
that's
you
just
leave him in?
textbook coaching. Yeah,
Why would you leave him in?
take him out. And Deuce was having a good game, so
You
go
took him
back
out
to Deuce.
again.
You never know. Deuce had a really good first half, so I would.
Why didn't you just keep him in the second half?
I mean, I would have let him work, but I'm not the coach.
Strong Alabama, I agree. A lot was let go in this game. A lot was let go in this game.
Yeah.
And apparently the third quarter of Doom is back.
Third quarter of Doom is definitely back. And Nick Shack, that's what I'm saying. I'm riding with you. Back-to-back 50 wins. Second round, he's not getting fired. Also, Nick Shack, to add to that, I really do believe that next year, this team is going to be looking like how Cleveland looked in the regular season. I think this team is going to.
But here's the thing, though.
Potentially hit that 60-win mark.
Losing to the Celtics without Tatum is an excuse. Size 9. How many times do I gotta say it? The Celtics back is against the wall. They're a tough team.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Tatum. That's why I'm kind of glad we. Whoa, let's slow that down. I'm not glad we lost, but another silver lining to the loss is that now that takes away the Tatum excuse, because they got the one win without Tatum. So you can't say, oh, if they would have had Tatum, they won. They already won without Tatum, and they proved they could win without Tatum. So my thing is, it has nothing to do with Tatum at all. We were winning game 4. We were up 9 points, because OG had the steal. But 7 points, we were up. We were going to win game 4 down the stretch. We were the better clutch team. Losing is one thing, getting
blown out is to tell something. Okay, it's the same shit.
It is the same. It is, like, look at Denver OKC. Denver got smacked.
Blown out.
That was the greatest blowout of the. No, was it? No, I think the Miami first round. One of them teams in the first round. Anyway, besides the point, that was one of the biggest blowouts in the playoffs. Denver came back and took a 2-1 lead. So it doesn't really matter about blowouts, right?
It doesn't matter.
What matters is how many, like the first to 4, like Jaylen Brown said. Even though I know his angle, he's trying to galvanize his troops. But Jaylen Brown was correct when he said the Knicks it's not the first to 2 or 3. It's the first to 4.
And that's
just what it is. Yeah, so you don't get more points, right? More points don't give you more wins. Salute the quiet money.
Celtics
I see you in the house.
Put some respect on champion. He's right. And she's right.
Yeah.
I agree. We didn't sleep on anyone. They whooped our ass. And let's be honest here. I'm pretty sure the Knicks know they have to go back to the drawing board and learn how to play without Tatum.
The adjustments. And I think the adjustment will be, don't double Brown unless he's like, you could help near the basket maybe, but I don't think we should double Brown at all. I think, like, if he's getting 12 assists, that to me is more dangerous than the scoring.
I think
because those assists will lead to threes.
I think what happened was that Tibbs went back to the old game that he had with Tatum, with the adjustments for Tatum, right? I will say, though, as a fan, this is an entertaining series. This is a very entertaining series, though. As a fan, this is a very entertaining series.
Yeah, we don't need no one on Boston, though, getting 12 assists. To me, that's worse than 20-something points. If you're getting 12 assists, most of those assists are going to be threes.
APP, Leon Rose is not going to regret that Julius Randle trade.
Lord, we're going to start. Okay, maybe I'll do the unfiltered thought on that tonight.
Do that
because,
one. Because I'm going to go on a rant about that Julius Randle. No, we're not regretting the Julius Randle trade. We're not regretting it.
No.
We got a first. We got a first 50 back-to-back win, right? We got a first 50 back-to-back win. Randle wanted the money. Randle was already on his way out. There were signs that Randle was already on his way out. There were signs. There was rumors, and I believe it to this day. Randle was already going to be shipped out.
I think that part of what you're saying is definitely true, because The Knicks never offered him the bag, right? Randall was been waiting. He could
They
have got an
wanted him to
extension
take a
last
pay cut.
season.
They wanted him to take the pay cut because
I don't think they wanted. I don't think they wanted to pay him. I really do believe that they didn't believe in Randall like that, and that they needed a center, right? So and there's been rumors about Towns for years, ever since Leon Rose got to the Knicks. There's been rumors about Towns coming to the Knicks every single year. Towns to the point where Coach, salute to my man Coach, he used to come into the chat, right? This was like 2 years ago, like early on the channel. He used to come into the channel and be like, yo, we need Towns. I'm like, why are we talking about Towns every show? Like, why are we talking about Towns every show? I don't understand it. And
here's the thing.
It's been a topic of, yeah.
And here's the thing. Most of y'all are forgetting. This is the team's first year together. Yes, first year. Counting the postseason. They're not going to blow this team up. They're not going to blow this team up. If anything, they're going to retool.
To all the regretting trade Randall people, I just want to see if y'all keep that same energy after Game 6 or after this series is over. Because I just feel like we're upset with the loss, and now we're peeking over to a Minnesota team that beat a team without its best player, and the Warriors are not the Celtics, right? The Warriors don't have a system where they can thrive without Steph Curry. That's not happening, right? It's just not happening, and they don't have a Jaylen Brown, right, on their team. So, nor do they have a Drew Holiday. I mean, they got a Jimmy Butler. But, I mean, Jimmy Butler had 17 points. He shot 4 of 11 from the field, right? It's way different. It's a different monster. So, he didn't beat Steph Curry because I'm telling you right now, if Steph Curry was there, this is what I could say 100% sure. That Randall was not winning.
We needed a center. Anthony Towns was a center. Now, I don't like the fact that Randall was in that trade. I'll admit it with you. But Randall playing center? I would rather watch the Portland Trailblazers. Thank you very much. And watch Randall play a center position.
That's not happening. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. And also, AP says Knicks losing this series could be a real thing. Nah, AP. See? And you know what? That's my poll. Thank you, AP. That's going to be tomorrow's poll right there. There you go. That's going to be my poll tomorrow. I like that one, AP.
Strong Island Bombing Bunsen on that look. I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped another 40-50 piece.
Yeah, Brunson going to cook. I think Brunson's going to have a great game, but I think also Cat. I'm looking for Cat to be like, yo, man, these guys is like 6'4" and they guarding me. That's an insult.
Now, I will say, I'm going to entertain a possibility. There is a real thing that the Knicks do lose this series. It's a possibility. I'm not going to dismiss it.
I mean, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, anything's possible, right? But what about the probability? What are the odds? Right, that's what we go by. That's why, like, when I initially did the prediction, right, Yuri? The reason why I went 7 games is because, one, I'm going with my Knicks, right? We in the second round of the postseason. I'm going to try to go with my boys. But I understood in the beginning that the odds were heavily against us. We were a minus... the Celtics were a minus 800 coming into the series. That's an 88% chance of winning.
Yeah. AP, you're welcome. I'll be happy to be wrong, but I just don't trust this group. Okay, to say you don't trust this group is insulting. It really is. Because this group has taken a lot of crap lately. And I mean a lot of crap. Being compared to last year's team. This team is better than last year's team. The stats are there to prove.
Wait, AP has been miserable? Really, AP? I didn't really get that from AP that he was miserable, Nick Shack. I didn't get that from him.
This team needs to learn how to play with each other. And so what if we blow a 3-1 lead? I'm not worried about this team getting blown up. Well, it looked devastating.
That's why I'm saying, like, next year this team is going to be way different because you made the trade for Karl Anthony Towns the day before media day. The weekend, like the Friday, media day is Monday. He gets traded Friday. Coach Tibbs has a game plan for training camp that he drew up all summer. That goes in the trash. Now we got to go in the training camp on the fly to develop a new strategy. Jalen Brunson said it on the Roommates podcast. We didn't even get the opportunity to work out over the summertime. So there's a lot that goes into building a team and managing a team, and they just didn't have the time to work on those things this past offseason.
And I will say, though, if Mitch is still healthy after the playoffs, which I expect him to be, which I definitely expect him to be, right?
Yes, hopefully.
Right? This team is going to look completely different in the summer. They'll actually be able to play together. They'll actually
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Figure out a strategy together.
Yeah. Work on pick and roll lobs. How many pick and roll lobs have you seen?
Not yet.
Very few, if any. AP said 35 years and counting. Hey guys, I still got the face. See, I'm only upset because I really wanted them to win in Game 5. I'm gonna keep it real. I went too hard. I think I went too hard on TikTok today, guys.
You know you're gonna get flooded with comments on TikTok, right? I'm letting you know.
There's a couple of other Nick creators on there, right? So I'm on there. I go on their videos. I'm like, Knicks in 5. They like, I don't know. I said, nah, I'm gonna say it for you. I was going too hard, guys. I was going too hard. But I gave y'all a fair warning. Yes, I am the objective fan. But the further we get in the playoffs, the more fanned out I'm gonna become. I'm gonna keep it real. The further we get, if we get to the finals, I am going to a finals game. You could bet your money on that. If we go to a finals, I'm gonna be in the building. I don't care if it costs $2,000 to get up in there. I'm gonna be up in there. That's just what it is. I'm just letting y'all know. And I don't even like to go to games like that. But if they go to the finals, forget the Eastern Finals. Yeah, I saw my brother today. Oh, we could go to the Eastern Finals. I said, nah, yeah, I'm good.
Long Island, thank you. It's a team effort. I expect Tibbs' adjustments and a win on Friday. I got a funny feeling Tibbs got caught off guard with what they were doing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, because look, Jaylen Brown, one thing I did know, that Jaylen Brown could look good. Of course, 26 points, but the 12 assists has really killed us. Because he did it in Orlando. He played just like Tatum. When Tatum missed that one game, he was gunning it like Tatum. He did a great Jason Tatum impersonation. So we're gonna adjust to that.
Listen, so now the excuse is that they didn't have a training camp together, and next year would be let's wait. No, the excuse is not that. Mitch was already gonna come back here, but he got delayed.
No, AP. No, first off, I'm not making no excuse. What I'm saying is, I'm telling you why I think that the offense, they'll have the number one offense in basketball, and I think they'll be the number one team in the East, because I think they're going to be able to work out a lot of the troubleshooting you see that's needed on offense. I think they're going to work a lot of those things out going into next season, and I think the team will be better. I mean, if you gain a year, you should be better. But I'm not using that as an excuse as to why we're going to lose to Boston or lose to anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about how good I think next year's team will be, because they will have a Coach Tibbs summer of adjustments and strategy to bring into next season. That's all I'm saying. Salute the coach, man. Coach, I was just talking about you, Coach. How like 2 years ago you was talking about Towns on my like since you first came here. Towns. And I'm like, yo, why you keep talking about Towns? So the rumors are always there.
I'm gonna make a prediction, right? The Knicks as of right now, they're gonna get a bench next offseason. They're gonna get a bench.
Yes, I agree.
They're gonna get a bench offseason. They still got
at least one more guy on the bench. At least one more guy. You know, right? Because you got Deuce and Mitch. So
we've seen how the starters do. Against Boston. They put up pretty good results this playoffs, right? But here's the thing, though. Boston is still deep enough to still hang in the top 5. That's what people don't realize.
Oh, that's a good one, man. Because you got Orlando, you got Indiana, you got New York, you got the Cavaliers, because they're more than likely going to come back. That to me is 4 teams right there that probably will be better than the Celtics. And then Detroit, if Detroit gets Julius Randle, oh God.
Yeah,
I don't want to see them boys. So it's a lot that could happen. I wouldn't, because look, all right, cool. You got to understand, like, regular season, a long season without Tatum, it's one thing to go a series, but to go a season without your best player, he leads in points, rebounds, and assists. Can Jaylen Brown step up for a season? Not one game, not 2 games. Can he step up for a season? That remains to be seen. And I would have to see it. I think Boston, I wouldn't be surprised they're a playing team. I'm going to keep it real. Because what is KP? All right, maybe you move KP.
And here's the thing.
I don't know.
I like to mention this too. The Knicks window just got extended. It went from a 2-year window to now you have a 4-year window.
But do you think this one game kind of like gave Boston some hope? Like, hey, man.
Yes.
Maybe you think that you think so? But
I do think so.
Okay. A lot of people don't really understand like the economy of the circumstance, right? With Boston, like they just think that, oh, it's basketball, and if it looks good, we'll keep it together. No, there's a lot of financial implications that goes into the salary cap and the way these teams are structured. Off rip next year, they will still be a second apron team, and they'll lose Cornette and Horford. They're not under contract. So you got a new ownership coming in. We get bumped in the second round. Do we come back with the same team? I think you got to change it up. Now, KP, I just realized something, though. KP could be moved because he has 1 year on his contract. So that I could see a team taking KP for that 1 year to free up money.
I can't talk next year. 1 game going on to home court this year. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna jinx it yet. I will say though.
Who said the 1 game? Nick Chat?
I can't talk next year. 1 game going to these home court. I agree.
Well, yeah, Knicks. What I'm saying about next year is like it has nothing to do with the playoffs. I'm just talking about the summer, and then whether we win the championship or not, I think that this team will still be better in the regular season, and that's my point is independent of the results. Because I'm not talking about we're going to win the championship next year. I'm just saying that I think with the off-season opportunity with health, because that's another thing we didn't have last off-season, I think these guys will be coming in a lot more sharper.
That's how I feel about it.
Coach says can't have players that score in the same space on the floor at the same time. Good point. Are you saying that's with Randall and Brunson, Coach? Is that where you're going with that point?
APP, I do agree. It did give them hope. Knicks had their chain snatched off. I do agree because when it comes to the playoffs, right, winning a game is a momentum, right?
Yeah.
When you win without Tatum, that gave them hope. Like, oh, we can take them without Tatum. We can beat this team without Tatum. That's probably what they're thinking to themselves in the locker room.
Well, I'm not. But Yuri, I'm not worried about that because I still think the Knicks will win this series. I'm talking about for next season and beyond. But to answer Nick's question, which is tied to it, who's taking $90 million from Holiday? Holiday won't be the guy. The guy would be Porzingis. He has the 1 year 30. I could see teams taking on that 1 year 30 because they want to get out of whatever financial situations they are in. But if the Celtics are going to trade the 1 year 30, here's the catcher. They want to have to get a third team, right? That can give them the assets that they want. But hold on. I don't think they could do 3-team deals. There's some restrictions because they're second apron team. But I think it's third team to free up money. I think you could bring in a third team to move other. There's a way to do it. There's a way to finagle it.
But Boston getting hope just because they won a game, yeah, I do agree with that statement, though. Because now
they could get hope whatever they want. They ain't going to win. They That's what. Listen, I'm not giving a
J-Tap.
prediction. J-Tap, salute to J-Tap. I'm not gonna give a prediction, J-Tap, because you came for me in the Discord. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. The Knicks are gonna win this series.
Knicks are gonna win this series. Listen, J-Tap. I'm sorry we even had this conversation on the call, but all this next year talk is making me sick. How can the Knicks win next game, let alone the series? Listen, I still think Knicks win this series. I still say Knicks in 7. I'm still gonna say Knicks in 7.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm confused by the point. You're saying all the next year talk. How can the Knicks win the next game, let alone series? Oh, you want me to explain that? Okay, it wasn't rhetorical. I mean, I think it's simple. I think you go back to what got you here. I think that you got to guard Jaylen Brown the same way you guard Jason Tatum. You know, just single coverage unless he's beating you towards the basket. But I just think that they put too much of an emphasis on double teaming Brown, and him getting the 12 assists is what really killed us. Jaylen Brown getting 12 assists is that's crazy. Like, it's hard to win in those circumstances. If that gives you some hope, J-Tap.
That's how I feel. Because whatever Tips tried to do tonight, listen, I don't want to hear nothing about Cat. Cat has been balling in those playoffs.
Yeah, he had what? He had 10. No, I'm sorry. He had 6 straight double doubles and 3 straight 20-10 games coming into the game. So, I mean, what more you want from him?
What did Cap say? Actually, I wanted to ask you about that. What did Cap say?
Oh, I did listen to it. I mean, this filler talk, you know, like he did avoid some questions, right? Just we got to be better, you know, Mr. Miyagi talk. Not really the right.
That's all they think about.
And to be honest, I'm gonna keep it real, guys. From listening to the post game interviews, I really do believe the Knicks are going to be better because I think they all understand where they went wrong, and what I was talking about earlier was the killer instinct, and I think I'm gonna do an unfiltered thought on killer instinct.
They do like a killer instinct, though. It's been apparent in the playoffs. It became apparent in playoffs tonight. They do like a killer instinct.
Size 9 said he thinks we should be a 1 through 4 seed. Nah, forget the 4. I think next year with Boston not going to be a top. I don't got Boston as a top 2 seed next year. I would put us at. No, I'm putting us at number 1. I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah, the Cavs got to show me that because I think that the Cavs, their issues, the second apron issues, they gonna feel it. Because guess who's a free agent? Ty Jerome. J-Tap says. Yeah, boy is right. J-Tap says he putting small players on Cat and taller players hasn't guarded them yet. So Cat needs to get to the post. The problem with that J-Tap, and Coach Tibbs did say this in the post-game speech, that Luke Cornett is on the backside.
So what do you do
Coach
now?
says top 2. I agree. Oh, well, you know what? What I do with Cornett on the backside, because he might start game 1. I would try to see. Here's the problem. See, that's another problem. Like, what sets do you have that you worked on that you can implement? Right. A lot of Cat sets were on the perimeter where he was modern day post ups, but it's kind of hard to run those sets because on every possession he's being guarded by a different player. Like, Boston's just switching it up like musical chairs out there. 1 minute is Holiday, next minute is Brown.
It's Luke. Okay,
listen, but J-Tap, let me just say this, though. Like, the Boston Celtics probably do the best job of covering their weak links on defense out of any team in the NBA. OKC don't got no weak links. But the Boston Celtics on defense, they do the best job in covering a weak link. So when you say Luke Cornett, they put him in a position to be successful. That's why, if you go back to the box score, he had the 7 blocks. He had 7 blocks. 9. I think he had 9. Hold on. Let me get it right
Now,
back on
here's
the
the
screen.
thing, though. When Mitch was on him,
Let's look at it
Mitch,
together.
here's the thing I
He
didn't
had
understand, though. When
he
Mitch
had
was
10
on him,
points.
here's the
Yeah,
thing,
Mitch
though.
was on him.
Mitch was on him, he was neutralized. That's the problem. So,
But Mitch wasn't really in for the third quarter.
why didn't that Tibbs just put him in? That's my question.
Yeah, Towns played the I think Towns might have played the whole third, right? Hold on, I could pull that up.
Wait.
I don't remember. I know he came out eventually, but
one hand on his jersey, spun him away from the refs, then grabbed the. Oh, I saw that.
you saw in game 3 he grabbed Mitch in one hand in jersey. Oh yeah. I actually do remember that. But that's just veteran tactics right there. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, it's just the refs. They've been. Oh yeah, so Mitch Robinson played 3 minutes in the third, but Towns played like 9 minutes in the third. So that's why you didn't really get to see it, because Cornette played the entire quarter. So most of the time Cornette was out there, he was matched up with Towns. For the record.
Quiet as kept Kolek knows the ropes now too. Kolek's defense was good tonight. Why are we talking about Kolek?
Yeah, let's not talk about. Yeah, I don't even go there. Don't even want to go there. But hold on, but J-Tab, when you say it's Cornette, like he had 9 rebounds. Hold on, in this quarter, right? Let me go back to research mode, right? I love NBA.com when you know how to use it. So in this quarter, he was a plus 15, right? He had 4 points, 5 blocks in the third. Hold on, wait, I messed up. He had 5 blocks in the third quarter alone. Okay? In the third quarter alone, and 5 rebounds. Yeah. So when you say it's Luke Cornette, yeah, it's Luke Cornette. That's what he's doing. He's killing us. Oh, you can't even see it because I got it. Hold on.
Did y'all not watch Kolek minutes? He was a totally different player. I didn't watch Kolek's minutes, size 9. But if he
hold on, Yuri. I do got a call. Hold on. I'm gonna try to merge him in. Hold on.
Is it J-Tap?
I don't know who it is. Hello, caller. State your name. Where you calling from?
Yo, from Queens, man.
How's it going, man? You said I didn't catch your name. It broke up.
Moses from Queens.
Moses. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember you, Moses. Hold on. I'm gonna merge you in with Yuri. Hey, Yuri. We got Moses on the line.
Yo, Moses.
Yo.
How's it going?
I'm good.
What's your take on the game tonight, Moses?
They didn't want to win, bro. The way they was playing, they didn't want to win. You know.
I
was watching ESPN earlier. He said Stephen A was like, "Yo, listen, they probably might lose this game, but want to end the series in Madison Square Garden, where the whole crowd is going to be, since it's this Friday." So
they better end the series in Madison Square Garden, because they lose that game and it goes to Game 7.
To me, I wanted them to end it now. Like, they had the ability to end it now, but they didn't want to do it. I don't know why. You know.
I think it goes back to the killer instinct. I'm gonna do an unfiltered thought on that. I'm gonna really do a little dive on that.
They lack killer instinct.
Coach says defensive tricks, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so what was your prediction, Moses? Because you called up on Friday, right?
I think I called up like a while ago.
Oh, a while ago. Okay. So what's your prediction? What was your prediction before this game? Did you have it Knicks in 5?
I said Knicks in 7.
I said 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, before the series started, I was like, nah, we're not winning the series. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I'm not a Knicks hater, but I was saying that, nah, I don't believe they're going to beat Boston, because I thought they didn't have enough. But, hey, look what happened. The playoff postseason came. You never know what's going to happen, you know?
Right. Yeah, I would say you got to give yourself a shot. That's why I picked the Knicks, because I'm going to go out, with my guys. It's only a prediction,
If that's the case, then size 9, I do hope Kolek does get minutes going into the next season. In that case.
What's your thoughts on the Knicks probably might bring back Austin Rivers?
For what? To coach?
No, Austin Rivers. Like, is he still playing?
I thought he was working on ESPN, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he was like an analyst on some network. If it's not ESPN, he was calling games when I last seen him, like doing like halftime reports.
I will say though, and I kind of did have to go off on some people. When you worry about other teams, it feels like you're just disrespecting the Knicks.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, why can't we be worried about other teams? This team got past the last round. Why couldn't this team get past it? I'm like, it's the playoffs.
You never know what's gonna happen. It's the postseason.
No,
That's a different animal. You know.
So Moses, do you think we still win the series?
I still think we do, but because I know like Brunson's gonna be tight that he lost this one, you know, and he wants to end it.
Right.
So I think we might want to do it in Game 6. But
Yeah.
you know what I want to know like Dante DiVincenzo wants to come back to New York, but how are we gonna get him back?
Oh, that's not happening, good sir. It's not
Dante's
happening.
not coming back. Dante's not coming.
Why is not coming?
He's not. Minnesota loves him too much.
That, and we don't have the salary to make the deal happen, because remember, Minnesota's a second apron team. So we got guys that make way more money than Dante, but at the same time, we don't want to give those guys up. And then the guys that make less than Dante, we don't have any real two salaries that would make the trade a perfect trade.
Dante's gone.
That's why.
Yeah.
Unless you do like Mitchell Robinson and maybe Pacome Dadier, maybe that might work. But I would have to look at the numbers.
We're not giving up our rookies, though. I hate to tell you that.
You say we're not giving up what?
Because here's the thing. The next development for the Knicks right now, I don't want to talk about offseason yet, because we'll get to the offseason when we get to the offseason. The next step now is going to be developing our rookies. That's going to be the next step now.
So just to keep it on the game, because this is not really a call-up show. I forgot to say that. This is really a game show. We're talking about the game.
I know we lost.
What was your biggest
you know?
disappointment? What was your biggest disappointment in regarding this Knicks game? What was the biggest disappointment?
Can I add to that, and then I'll let Moses go? My biggest disappointment overall was just the second half collapse. That's what it was. The second half collapse just killed it for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just said it. The second half collapse. You know, players was turning the ball over. You know, they wasn't really playing the defense. They wasn't focused on defense. So that was the biggest upset of this game. You know, but if they really come out and they say, listen, they want to win, they want to end this series. If the Knicks wants to, they gotta come out. Do it. They gotta come out. They gotta come out ready. They can't play around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because once we eliminate the Celtics, we go to the next round, which is the third round. And I think a lot of people say we will beat Indiana. I mean, I think we can.
Past Indiana, I've said it. Do not look past Boston. I still said it. Oh, no Tatum. Don't look past Boston.
Yeah, don't take Boston for granted. They took him for granted tonight. You know, so that's what happened.
Mikel knows it. Josh Hart knows it. The team knows they took it for granted tonight.
Trust me,
I think my biggest disappointment is Jaylen Brown getting 12 assists. Like, I just feel like that's the worst thing that could happen to your defense. Anybody on Boston getting a lot of assists, because it's mostly going to be 3 balls.
I'm going to tell you, though. I will tell you, though. It's still Knicks in 7 for me. I'm not changing my prediction. I'm still saying Knicks in 7.
I still think they'll end Boston Friday. You know, but they got, because I know this man Brunson is tight and he lost the game tonight.
Oh, do you saw him when he raised the jumbotron? I told him.
Yeah, he sounds to me, like he sounded like focused, like he gonna put up 40 the next game. That's how he sounded to me in the post game. Didn't really say nothing of note. It just sounded like he's ready to put up 40.
Right, but again, he could put up 40, but if the other players on the team is not stepping up, we're not winning. So
that's the whole thing behind it.
I get that. I get that logic, but at the same time,
no matter if you hate Mitch or not, Mitch is not leaving this team. He's not leaving this team.
But I get that logic, but at the same time, if Brunson put up 40, the game would be a lot closer. I know it don't work like that, but I'm just.
That's how it works.
You need when Mikal Bridges, like I always say, when Mikal Bridges is 4-14, OG Anunoby is 1-12. Karl-Anthony Towns is your Karl-Anthony Towns is your fifth option. He only gets 11 shots, and Josh Hart gets 15 shots, and Josh Hart's the only one really balling. That's when it's time for the last year's Brunson to step up. So I hear the logic. I'm just saying that, these guys better bring it.
They better not play around.
They better not play around.
My question is this. Like, if they would have had the same team we had last year, I think it would have been a better playoff for us. Do you agree?
I disagree.
I mean, what happened in last year's playoff? Did we go further? Did we go to the finals last year?
No, I'm talking about if we had a roster that we had last year, like with Julius, Hartenstein, and Dante and them.
Okay.
If we would have had it this year, then we have still been a better team than how we are now.
I can't say. First off, Hartenstein, I don't even like to use Hartenstein because he left. He didn't want to be here, so I don't even use that guy's name. That would be slavery.
That's why I'm hoping that Denver eliminates OKC.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's fantastic. But as far as the other two guys, we traded those guys, so that was our decision to move them. So those guys could have still been here because they were under contract. But Hartenstein, to get him up out of here. Honestly, I'm gonna say I think that the team would be the same. I don't think it would be better or worse. I just think it would be just two different teams because Town he makes you a 5-out team. If you had Randall, you would have Mitch as your starter, and then Dante off the bench, I guess. But yeah, I don't know how they would do it, but I just don't think that is going to be much of a difference than what you see now, because Josh Hart, I mean, he's having the best career, best year of his career. So, and I think that we do a lot of undermining of Josh Hart when we say double big lineup. Josh Hart was the only one. To me, he played the best out of everybody tonight. So you gonna put him on the bench? I don't know.
I mean, man,
I don't think it's gonna be that desperate, honestly.
I see what my man Coach is saying. He balances out Cat, but I think we need a summer to work on that. I don't think you go to that in the playoffs when they still haven't played that many minutes together. You can go to it like you do in this, second quarter. I'm not saying to not go to it, but I wouldn't start it because you got the best starting lineup in basketball. Why change that now?
You notice that Mitchell Robinson is not doing bad on free throws, right?
He's not.
Well, he had a good game.
I mean, they need to play Achua more and Bruce McBride more.
Well, you're not going to see Achua unless somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't want to play Achua.
I don't know why.
Coach, I'm with you, Coach, but I think that's something that you introduce next year. I can't start Mitch right now when they haven't had the work. They didn't get the time to work on that.
I wouldn't start Mitch because remember you don't want him to be injury prone because you need him.
But that's a whole nother man. Let's not even talk about injuries with Mitch. That's scary because he could get hurt off the bench too. But I'm just saying my logic is that you got to stick with the 5 that got you here. If you want to make that change next year, I have no problem with it.
Next year, I have no problem if he does the double big lineup.
Yeah, because now you got a summer to work on it, to game plan. to strategize. You go into media day and Mitch is not even there. So
what does that tell you?
There you go. Exactly. So
of course, I mean,
but I get what coach is saying though.
You think, man, Tibbs is still gonna be here? No. So my question
is, he's gonna be here.
I mean, listen, if they lose this Friday and then they go to Boston and they get eliminated, I think they might get rid of Tibbs, bro.
Listen, man, let's keep it positive, man. I don't even want to think about that, man.
Positive. I don't want to think about that, but
let's not even think about that, man.
Just know the Knicks is not dumb. You know what I'm saying? They're not dumb. They know they messed up this game, so they know. Friday they're gonna come out heavy. They want to win. If they once they say they're gonna win, they're gonna do it. Trust me. So I believe they'll win Friday, and then let's move on and get the Pacers. You know, I believe we'll beat the Pacers. It's not gonna be easy, but.
I might even think about the Pacers. Right? Listen, I might even allow right now. Because I've got this prediction wrong. I might even allow to even think about the Pacers. I have to wait because I need to see the look on Brian Windhorst's face. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys get your final thoughts on this game, and I'm gonna get ready to wrap up this show because I don't want it to be too long. I want to have some good replay value.
I watched the post games. The Knicks know they screwed up this game. You know, Nick Yak, they're not the.
You know, they're gonna come out ready.
I have full confidence that the Knicks are gonna get it done in 7. I'm gonna say 7.
Okay, that's right. I'm riding with that.
This Friday,
What's up, Moses?
They're gonna wrap it up this Friday. You know what I'm saying? Because like JB, I'm pretty sure the Knicks don't want to go to get Game 7.
You can't go back to Boston.
They can't do that. So I'm pretty sure if they're smart enough, they should have won tonight. You understand? But they didn't do it. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. So hey, close them out Friday, and let's move on. You know. But I'm
riding with you, man.
And I'm gonna say
I wish they would have won tonight. They would have gave them more time to rest.
Where did OG disappear to? Yeah, no, OG had a bad game tonight, J-Tap. OG had a really bad game tonight.
Yeah, he did.
Damn, J-Tap, you're not holding no punch. Go ahead, Yuri.
Listen, we can talk about the double big lineup. We can talk about Mitch not starting. The point is that you can't change the lineup now. You can't do it. Right. If you want to change it next season.
Yeah, but you got to add a big man in here first to come off the bench.
I think Ariel Huckapoy is going to be the next backup for Mitch.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they got him. How tall is he?
Yeah. He's doing a lot better now. He finally healed up from the torn meniscus.
How tall is he? He's like 6'11".
Around that.
Yeah, 6'11".
Oh, 6'11". I don't think 6'11" can play the center.
Why not?
I mean, mostly in the league is mostly 7-footers that be playing centers.
There's a lot of centers that's like around 6'11". That play the 5.
Yeah, depends on the team you play.
Okay, so Lloyd said 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, he around 6'11" because he grew an inch. But all right, guys, listen, man. I'm gonna get ready to shut it down, man. I'm gonna give final calls. I thank you, Yuri, for hanging out, and thank you, Moses. We'll be going live again Friday, 10:45. Yep.
I bet. Cross my fingers. Pray that they win Friday.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh God! All right, man. I see y'all on Friday, man. All right. All right. Peace. All right, guys. That was Yuri and Moses. I appreciate you guys for calling. This is definitely the wind down. If you guys wanna, I do a couple of short calls. If you guys want to call before I wrap up, I just don't want this stream to be too long. Coach. I see what you're saying. Next year for sure. Next year we could do the double big lineup. J-Tap, I do want to answer your question. You said where did he disappear to? I feel like with OG Anunoby, he don't get the flack that other players on this team gets. And I think it's disguised by defense. right? Because OG, his defense to me is a little bit more apparent than what Bridges does at times, because Bridges is normally guarding the best player. This is the first time that, not the first time, because Cade, they both kind of guarded Cade Cunningham, but usually Mikal was getting a lot of the tough assignments of guards. So OG's defense, because in this game he had a block. Thought he got a steal too, but I guess he didn't get the steal, but he got a block. And he did get 8 rebounds. But because of he does other things, he's allowed to disappear. Salute to Maxine. Maxine's in the chat, so I know that means I got to shut it down soon. Coach says basketball is a game of mismatch. We need Mitch against teams still in the playoffs, a.k.a. Minnesota. Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that Mitch is definitely someone that we're going to need. And, yeah, I agree with that. Fans are just babies nowadays. J-Taz says, and I see Cam on the court for one more minute. You gonna lose it? Well, you got DeLon Wright, but clearly DeLon Wright is not getting no time in the postseason. He's not even getting garbage time. I would love to see DeLon get off the bench. Good height, good size. Coach Tibbs and his adjustments, man. But like I said, this is the final call. I'll do some rapid fire calls if you guys want to talk for a brief minute. Maxine's right. Yeah, this is the late night crew. Turner turns into an all-star every other game versus Mitch. He does give Mitch the business. I ain't gonna front. Hey, but you know what? Any center that pops out will give Mitch the business. Any center that pops out is giving Mitch the business. No, well, Mitch didn't play against Turner. He's saying Nick Shaq. He's not talking about last year. He's saying in general, and he's right. Anytime you see Mitch go up against Turner, just in the history of basketball, Turner definitely gets the best of him. That's why my dream trade, and not that I want to trade Mitch now, but my dream trade at the time was Mitch and who was it? Mitch and somebody. I mentioned somebody. Maybe Pressure. I don't know. But I wanted to do Mitch and somebody else for Turner from the Pacers, because rumor had it that the Pacers wasn't going to be able to sign him. All of that go out the window. The Pacers, they going to bring everybody back because they in the Eastern Finals for the second time in a row. They doing something right. But like I said, final call for call 646-995-8389. My final thoughts on the game, though. I got a whole bunch of notes here. Knicks plus 5.5 coming into the game. Every game this series, we were an underdog, right? 3-4 coming into the game in closeout games. Now we're 3-5. We're 1-2 this postseason in closeout games, right? 93% chance of winning the series with a 3-1 lead. Only 13 teams have defied the odds, but 280 teams lost. White came out gunning, right? He came out hitting all these damn threes. I told you one thing I noted in the first quarter was that Holiday and Brown had the Towns assignment to start the game, and I'm thinking like, what the hell is that? And then also this game was a game of runs. The Celtics went on a run. Then the Knicks went on. No, the Knicks actually started it off. The Knicks went on a 7-0 run first. Well, technically Boston started it off because they had a lead. Then the Knicks went on a 7-0 run. Then when Cornette came into the game, the Celtics went on a 10-2 run. Wide open threes is another issue that the Celtics capitalized on. Josh Hart had a bloody eye, and then he proceeded to just knock down the threes, and he was actually the catalyst on that 7-0 run. The hack of Mitch was unsuccessful. Mitch went 6 of 6 from the free throw line. I think he made 4 free throws in the first quarter. Boston Celtics expanded their bench. They went with Torrey Craig and Hauser. I was shocked that Torrey Craig got time. KP was a non-factor. 0 of 3, benched the entire second half. So, like, another reason why I was confident coming into this game, because I'm like, in my mind, KP can't go. Celtics went 7 of 15 from threes, 46%. They also had a +1 advantage on the glass. What was the... So we finished with 40 rebounds. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. Dog growl. So we had 40. Oh, they were +4 on the glass. The glass keeps killing us. Like, we need a +5 effort on the glass. And the 3-ball. 44%. We all know that the Celtics, they are, what were they, 50, I think they were 52-13. They had 65 games where they shot 15 threes or more. So 52 wins when they shoot 15 or more threes. They had 22. Tough loss, man. I mean, Knicks did get free throws. We did get some free throws. We had 40 free throws in the game. Deuce McBride was solid in the first half. So was Mitch. And then the Celtics go on this crazy 13-2 run. A lot more from this game, man, but I'm going to keep it there, man. Definitely get the likes, hit the like button on the way out. If you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And if you are a subscriber, consider joining the channel. Salute to everybody who joined the channel. I'm going to record an unfiltered thought tonight. And I'm going to talk about the trade. And I'm going to go in on that. So if you are a member, look out for that. Definitely the 3-ball is a problem. Oh, man, we got another Boston. We got somebody from Boston in here. Definitely time to shut down the show. I got to put in a subscriber mode. But I want to give a big time salute to everybody that joined the chat. You know, Coach, Maxine, of course, all the channel members, J-Tap, Yuri. Salute to Knicks will be champs 25-26. Salute to everybody. JJPNYC, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. If you're curious, I keep mentioning the Discord server. If you want to get a part of it, one of the ways to get access to it is to become a channel member. So hit that join button. Salute to Coach, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. Strong Island Bomber, AP, of course, one of the first mods on the channel. We're going to be all right, y'all. I'm not giving a prediction. I do think the Knicks will win the series, but that's all for this live tonight. Salute to Yuri and Moses for calling. That's all I got for you. So until next time, let's go Knicks. And Knicks in. Nah, I'm not doing a prediction, man. No prediction. We out.